My name is Anna Pearson and I am a qualified solicitor in Australia, and I recently successfully passed all of the heads of the QLTS assessments. I graduated with a Bachelor of Medical Science from the University of Sydney in 2005. I then undertook postgraduate studies in law at the University of Technology in Sydney, and I graduated from there in 2011. I studied law part-time and at the same time worked full-time as a paralegal in a defendant personal injury firm in Sydney. I currently work in a firm in South Manchester and I practice solely in clinical negligence. I've relocated to the UK and it became clear to me that taking the QLTS assessments would further my career here. I researched the QLTS assessments in a great depth before I undertook them. It was very obvious to me that I was going to need assistance, having not been at law school for a number of years now, from a tutor who could help me concentrate on the areas which I knew I was weaker in, having not studied them for a long time. I found the QLTS School to be very beneficial. I particularly found it helpful having a tutor on hand who I could contact so easily. I received instant feedback and I was steered in the right direction for my revision course. I found the MCT question bank to be really helpful, and when I came to sat the exams, I was so pleased that I was able to answer questions that I'd really already seen in practice. The MCT question bank was unbelievably helpful, but I have to say the mock exams for the OSCE and the TLST examinations was even more helpful. It really helped me hone in on those areas which were my weaknesses. My time was very limited because I was also working full-time. What I did was I went back through my calendar and figured out exactly how many months I had to prepare before the exams. And then from there I figured out how many days and weeks that left me for each area. But I left the 2 weeks before the exam free, so I knew I would have 2 weeks to concentrate solely on mock exams. The process itself is so intense. I knew also that I had to give myself some time to relax. So I gave myself 1 day a week not to study. I would estimate I studied about, on average, 2 hours a day after work, and on the weekends probably 6 hours a day. But as I said, it is so intense. I knew that I had to give myself that day a week just to be able to push through right to the end. My firm was extremely supportive of my study. My firm are committed to ongoing training and career development. When I spoke to other people on the day of the assessments, it became obvious to me that I was actually a lot more prepared than I had realised. I knew exactly what to expect, and I knew exactly how varied the assessments could be in terms of the questions they could ask. Now that I've passed all of the QLTS assessments, I'm in the process of applying to be admitted to the role of solicitors in England and Wales, and this in turn will open more opportunities for my career. I think for a foreign qualified solicitor, it's very hard to be attractive in the UK legal market without sitting the QLTS assessments. I think the QLTS assessments has opened more doors and will continue to open more doors for me in the future. I definitely think a preparation course is necessary for anyone sitting the QLTS assessments, and I'm not sure really how you would pass them without doing some sort of preparation course. You need a preparation course really to steer you in the right direction throughout many months of solid revision, and without it, it would be very easy to lose course during that time. My advice would be to start preparing as early as possible and do not underestimate what is expected of you. The exams are really, really tough, and you really need to make sure you have a good timetable to get you through the months before the exams. I would recommend that any solicitor who wants to work in the UK, having been qualified in another jurisdiction, sits the QLTS assessments, as I think it would open a lot more doors for career development in the UK. In my view, to be an effective modern lawyer today, I really think you need to be able to adapt to a changing market, and you also need to now be able to apply your skills across many areas of law.